YongHwa 1-4 this season. Not the best record that we've ever seen from this player, but he has not dropped a map against Terran yet. He's only played one, but he did win it.
Very interesting.
And that's the only map he's taken so far this season.
Yeah.
But he's a good Protoss.
People who aren't that good with statistics may look at that and be like, see, Protoss is overpowered against Terran.
See, it's OP. That's
See?
the only match he won.
YongHwa.
See, KeeN lost one of his. He
has a loss.
He lost 1 out of 3 games against Protoss. He would have won all of them if Protoss was balanced because KeeN's so good.
Yeah. Well, KeeN is 2-3 in all of Pro League ever, as this is MVP's first season here at Pro League.
Yeah, and he's got a positive ratio against Protoss, and his win ratio is, that's pretty rare for someone on MVP against Protoss with how Protoss is doing in Korea right now. The map is Outboxer, as mentioned before. Pretty small map in general. Does have 2 islands, which we have seen come into play just recently in base trades. Let's find out if Incredible Miracle is going to take the clean sweep with a 3-0, or if MVP is going to get a point on the scoreboard.
LTA는 SK텔레콤.
Up here in the top left, in the blue for Incredible Miracle, Protoss player, this is YongHwa.
Yep. And his opponent to the bottom right, in the teal for MVP, it's KeeN. Players we've had around for a very long time in StarCraft 2. One of the ones from the very beginning. Talked a lot about how Outboxer is really good map for siege tanks, but in this matchup, siege tanks see very infrequent use.
Yeah. We also had this map where Hurricane just refused to GG yesterday.
Yeah, that was
pretty funny to watch. It
was a funny game because he was up against Zerg, who took the island to the top right, and then eventually the island to the bottom left. And he mathematically could not win the game. There's no way for him to build enough units to go to the island. And I guess he was trying to think, like, maybe if he sees how many stalkers I have, he'll just quit. But Rogue was not having it. Rogue was just like, I'm just gonna build meters and kill you. And eventually he did GG. But it was a funny game. Definitely a recommended game. I would go back and watch it. Ooh, checks around the base, and he's like, no, go on CC first. You didn't proxy me. Very safe here.
Yeah. And in Heart of the Swarm, KeeN is actually 3-1 versus YongHwa.
It's a good record to check out. YongHwa also checks for proxies very safely here. I wonder how this one's going to turn out because, CC first versus don't be shy. It's okay.
It was so funny, that guy's reaction. He's like, whoa, we're on camera.
Yeah.
She was like, oh, really?
Yeah. Well, I guess I should be a little more shy then. Slightly. I'll be 20% more shy about it. Well, we're going to have CC first on the high ground, and it's going to get scouted. So this becomes a really interesting question. How is YongHwa going to deal with this? Because take a player like Parting, who almost never scouts. He's going to do whatever build he wants to do. He's going to come in and say, oh, okay, well, I've already figured out how to do my build exactly against Command Serve first, but I transition when I get there. And he's like, oh, okay, I need to do this and this differently. Whereas YongHwa is now going to be able to make choices based on what he's seeing right away. And it looks like his first choice is to just not mine any gas and then take his nexus a little bit faster.
Yeah. And YongHwa's probe did get stuck in there as KeeN did wall off the front with his 2 barracks. The standard follow-up to the CC first. So that probe is going to die eventually. Unless he goes over that dropped depot, if he notices.
Yeah, I'm not sure what we're seeing here, but okay, the second gas is taken. It's very beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
very normal
the
gas
graphics
timing here.
The graphics are amazing. It's
the trays in the middle are pretty good as well.
He only had 1 probe on the closer minerals.
Oh, okay. That makes sense, because the closest minerals, of course, where you get the most mining efficiency, so you always want to maximize the mining there. This probe is, like, so annoying. Is this even going to maybe zap one of those SCVs once before he dies? I would.
You got to get revenge, man. You can't just let the Marine walk all over you. Oh. No, gets away.
Well, sad, but if you tried to attack the SCV probably would have just walked away anyways. Wouldn't take any hits.
Yeah.
That was
girl-
a forced wave.
Yeah, that girl did not want to wave, but the other one wanted her to wave. We're going to see a third barracks coming down here for KeeN. Could see some pressure.
Yeah, we definitely will. He's going to do that naked Marine pressure across the map. No stim, no combat shields, just straight up Marines coming out early on. And, you know, if you... Oh, is that bugging out?
What happened to that Marine? Or those two SCVs, rather.
Did he misrally that onto the depot? I think
Yeah.
he's rallied it onto the depot. So he's actually losing so much mining here.
That is actually huge. If he doesn't realize this, he's, you know, these 3 SCVs that he's put minerals into right now are just standing there. And there's more coming out.
Yeah. He will eventually realize he has to. Okay, he's realized it now. Well, that was a lot of mine time lost, actually. So let's see how much damage these Marines actually get done. Because all that's at home here, it looks like, is a Mothership Core and the Stalker that's about to pop out. Because the first Stalker is walking across the map right now. Not at home.
Well, if YongHwa is not paying attention, maybe he could snipe this Mothership Core.
Yeah,
Could
let's
walk
see.
right under it. Is he going to? Nope.
That was scary. Actually, the
Mothership
Stalker
Core.
should be able to kill these 3 Marines now.
Yeah.
If he micros well.
Well, it seems like he doesn't even care. He's got to be careful about the Mothership Core.
Nicely done there. And the Oracle, is it scanned? Nope, he doesn't see it. He has no idea that this is coming. And this could be a big problem because he lost a lot of his Marines. He does not have, you know, any bunkers up. He doesn't have any turrets up. He's going to position his Marines in the main base as he's kind of starting to figure out this is a possibility.
Yeah. He does have the 3 barracks, so he is going to have a lot of production to get enough Marines out here.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like losing those few Marines at the beginning. It means he cannot defend it. But if he spread his Marines too thinly, it could be a problem. But you're right. You make a good point. He's got a lot of barracks, so his Marine count is certainly going to be high enough, and he will be able to buy enough time to get turrets up. The only units he's going to lose here are maybe some stray units that are off to the edge.
But so far, KeeN has done a good job keeping them together. Oh,
Yeah, like,
could pick up a
that's
couple
it,
here. No, this
basically.
just gets one.
Yeah.
That one unfortunate Marine gets left behind. Look at this double forge as well as robotics bay. So we're going to see heavy upgrades in Colossi.
Yep. Oh, nice pickoffs here. Gets a few more kills, 3 more in total. And YongHwa is really, really known for this type of play in Wings of Liberty, where he goes double forge and gets the Colossi out. So is Creator. Both of these players known for this, and then transitioning, of course, into the Storm tech later on. In Heart of the Swarm right now, we see most players go Storm first and then transition into Colossi later. It's just kind of a stylistic choice, but I'd like to see YongHwa go back to his roots a little bit here.
Yeah, maybe it's a build that he's very comfortable with, something he practices a lot and has practiced a lot, so decides he may want to go for it in this match against KeeN.
It's a build that's very gas intensive, right? I mean, he's getting Blink +1/+1. He got the Twilight Council. That's a lot of gas spent. The Robotics Bay, and he wants to get Colossi out. The reason why he can do this is because there's 2 reasons actually. The first one is this Oracle. So if he, if there's a big move out by KeeN, he can pick some units off, which he already did. And then he has got the Mothership Core at home for overcharge, which is going to give him a lot of defensive power. He already used 1 overcharge though, so he's only going to have 1 here. That means his main base could be a little bit exposed. If some of those units are able to run up the ramp, he has to be very careful with his force fields.
Yeah, this is actually a scary push. He's got stim as well. He's got to get the Colossi out. He's actually chrono boosting it out right now. He needs it.
He really does. And +1 is about to finish too. This army is so scary. He scans, he sees how many units there are, the lack of units there is, and he goes in. Good force fields though, and the Colossus hits those Marines exactly like he wants it. And this is not good for KeeN. He is not going to get very good trade here. His medevac tech is so late.
Yeah,
and
it's very late. The Mothership Core survives as well. Very nice force fields, actually, forcing the units of KeeN to go into one of 2 paths and having the Colossi just have some really efficient shots.
He even kills the SCV building the 3rd command center, which delays it. Has not yet been replaced. It is replaced, and he could actually snipe it. He's going to get this SCV, that's for sure. Wow. So, looking really, really good for YongHwa right now. YongHwa's next step here is to just add a 3rd Nexus pretty soon. Because as soon as he has that 2nd Colossus out, his range is on the way. He already has 1-1. He can start 2-2 pretty soon. Drop that 3rd Nexus, and he's going to have a lead in economy because he knows as well that the 3rd CC for KeeN is on the way, and it's delayed.
Yeah, looks like he's trying to move out towards that 3rd base. He did at least put a pylon. And there's a probe I see. Yeah, it does get dropped down. He is pushing out here. These units of KeeN do not want to get caught out by these Colossi. Seems like they are going to be able to get away.
Just tough to make a build like this work if you're KeeN because The threat of Colossus is so high. This Oracle is going to fly to its death, but you know, right now those are his first 2 medevacs, his very first 2, and that means that he needs to make more. But if he makes more, that means he doesn't have Vikings, and Colossi are the big problem that he has to deal with right now because they have AOE, they have a lot of range, and so he needs Vikings, but he can't just skip medevacs or the ground army is going to take its toll because he needs that healing power. Bio's pretty fragile without the medevacs.
Yeah, definitely. And we see, you know, just continuous Colossi production coming out here. No Templar Archives just yet. He's just getting those +2/+2 with the Colossi, just sticking for that for now. Adding a bunch more gateways as well.
He has Blink.
Yeah.
He could chase. You know, it would be a bit crazy to chase now, especially with all that stim damage he just forced. And he's going to save a pylon here, it looks like. Kill a Marine. Send that Zealot back, but that means he still has that spotter pylon. Doesn't actually see... Okay, yeah, he has an observer down there too, so he does see the army's approaching angle. Or it was a Zealot. Oh, it was a Zealot and an observer. And so he knows.
Yeah, he knows exactly where that army is. And with the YongHwa adding a ton more gateways here, I think 6 extra gateways, he's going to go really gateway heavy on 3 base with really good upgrades as well as Colossi coming out. This is a really just strong, thick Protoss army.
Yeah, it's very thick. That's well said. I mean, it's just got so much power in it. And there's no Vikings, really. He's starting a second starport, but it's so late. If I'm not mistaken, those are his first 2 Vikings he's making right now. Against a Colossus count that's getting higher and higher with +2 attack now. He's going to have his 4th Colossus in just a second. He has range. He's going to have charge. Could actually move across the map and maybe kill KeeN if he knew how low the Viking count was and how behind he is in those upgrades. You know, he doesn't know how far 2-2 is behind.
Yeah, I was actually going to say the same thing. If he realized, if he could possibly go up to the army of KeeN and identify the fact that he just doesn't really have any Vikings right now, he's like starting to get his first Vikings out just now, he could actually just walk across the map. He's actually going to catch this as well. He's going to catch the medevac as well. These units are going to go down for basically for free.
Yep, he's got to get back in time to defend this, but I think he can pretty easily. Warps in a set of Zealots. They're about to have that new charge upgrade. And KeeN is just not able to get damage done. And he doesn't have any other advantages. He doesn't have a 4th base. He doesn't have Ghost Tech out yet, you know, to deal with the High Templar that are going to eventually be transitioned to. He doesn't have Vikings to deal with the tech he's up against now. I mean, he's starting to get those out. He's starting to get the Viking count to where he wants it to be. But he's just losing more and more units left and right here.
And, you know, I just wish YongHwa would just be a little bit more aggressive here. We're seeing 3 bunkers coming down right now. KeeN knows he's in trouble. But if YongHwa doesn't punish him for it, then it's not going to matter. Is he just going to wait for 3-3 before he attacks?
Well, if he waits for 3-3, he still will have an upgrade lead. But he has one already. But I think he's just kind of realizing, like, oh, I can just kill you. YongHwa's never been one to attack without defending and killing units first. That's why Artosis loves him so much. But he's going to attack at the angle where there's less bunkers. But oh my god, this is such a commitment in bunkers. And there's so much range damage here. There are 35 Zealots in this army. 35.
Jesus. And they have, you know, almost 3-3. They have charge as well. He's going to send the bulk of his army over here while sending a bunch more Zealots back home for now.
Yeah, it looks like he anticipated there was going to be a counterattack. Or maybe he's just going to go for a flank here. Regardless, it's very scary either way. Starts that 4th base meanwhile. And he doesn't have Storm yet. That's very far away, but he just doesn't really need it all that quickly. And here come those Zealots. They're going for the run by. Some of these Vikings a little bit AFK right now. And the Stalker's trying to target now Vikings left and right. Zealots trying to even go into the main base here. And they're going to kill some reinforcements. So many SCVs going down right now. And the fight continues.
Yeah, this very long, drawn-out fight. YongHwa's just not pushing it because these Zealots are doing so much damage in the meantime. All of the SCVs at the natural are dead. And the Vikings are not even doing any damage to the Colossi because he's microing so well, YongHwa, that is.
Yeah, and also he's got +3 armor, which is applied twice to Viking shots. They're only just now at +1. The +1 just finished. He picked off an Observer. That's one small victory. Gonna lose the Ghost Academy here. And KeeN is just being picked apart left and right now. Here come those Zealots charging through. He may actually just win the game right now.
His army is just so much stronger than KeeN's right now. You guys can see the supply, even though a lot of it is in probes, it just doesn't matter. So many reinforcements as well have been picked off by these Zealots of YongHwa, and he's just reinforcing with that pylon over there. and all of the gateways he has. He's adding this 4th base. I don't even think he needs it at this moment.
I mean, just look at the upgrades. They're so far behind here for KeeN. Like you said, the 4th base is almost an unnecessary afterthought at this point. He actually could almost just 1A and end the game, but that's not how YongHwa plays. He's just very careful, very calculated, taking his sweet time here. He's going to start picking away at this command center just a little bit more. Once he kills that, there's not much left for KeeN to go on. The command center itself is kind of a wall that's keeping him alive against the charge zealots, but once that's gone, he can just kill whatever he wants. He's got sentries in here. He's not even using Guardian Shield.
Yeah, another blink over to the side to try to focus down those Vikings. It looks like this is YongHwa's moment. He goes in. There's just so many zealots here. The GG.
GG, and IM takes the 3-0 today. You know what? The generic Green Wings coach just, though his words are like echoing through my mind, rather, there are no weak teams. Nobody's invincible. We're seeing this right now. MVP beats SKT, and then IM all kills them. Well, this isn't an all kill, but it's a clean sweep. It's a 3-0. No dropped maps, but +3 the indicator. This round is starting to look a little bit different than round number 1 very, very quickly here.
I'm loving this, Wolf, man. I love the fact that in round 2, all of these teams, they've gotten used to the format. They're all here, and they're all here to play. None of them are backing down. None of these teams are weak. We saw CJ Entis win out against KT Rolster, the 8th place team beating the 1st place team, and MVP beating SK Telecom as well. And now, just any team can beat any team, like you mentioned. YongHwa, very, very calculated play. Very slow play, not committing to it too early, and he just slowly squeezed out KeeN. KeeN didn't look too bad, but I wouldn't say that was one of his better games.
Yeah. He tried to attack multiple times very early and was shut down so hard. And if you get shut down while your opponent is doing a super greedy build where he's getting all of these expensive gas upgrades, then of course it's going to be ahead. It's going to be ahead in upgrades. It's going to have Colossi. The very late medevacs that he had were a big problem. Made it harder for him to drop. Had he hit that timing that he hit at the natural where he was trying to do damage with medevacs, where he could have boosted in the main base because he already forced one overcharge out once, could have done some damage. But